right. Perfect. All right, well, first of all, hi everybody. My name is Michael Pierre Charles, and 5 years ago, I had a rare neurological condition called chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy, but we could just call it CIDP for short. Just before I continue, anybody already heard of CIDP? No? Okay. Okay, you guys already heard of Guillain-Barré syndrome? Yeah? Okay. So what I got at that time was pretty much in the same family. The difference is that Guillain-Barré syndrome is more acute, and I got like the big brother version, the more aggressive one, the chronic version, the even rarer one than the Guillain-Barré syndrome. They're very similar in that it's a disease that attacks your own immune system, which attacks the nerves, and also in the process it damages all the protective the protection out around the nerves, which is also called the myelin. Okay, just to make a quick comparison, outside everywhere there's electric wires for the electricity to go through from the central all the way to the residence, or let's say the school. Well, there's a protective layer around the cable, the wire. But if that protection around the wire gets damaged, so basically the electricity, the signal is just going to fizzle out, and it's not going to go to the destination. So the nerves in our body is pretty similar, where you control what you want to do, what movements you want to do, raising up your arm, waving your arms, stuff like that. You control the signal that's going through your nerves. But if your nerves are damaged, the myelin, well, the signal is not going to go through properly. Therefore, you won't be able to execute your movement completely. So, for example, you'll be able to raise your arm but just halfway, or you're going to somewhat wave your hand or wiggle your finger and stuff like that. Basically, that's what happened to me, but I reached a point that it was so damaged that eventually I was paralyzed for a long period of time. When I got the condition that I got, first of all, I'm like a one of one, you could say. My condition is so rare that according to WebMD, they say that there's one person out of 100,000 that catch CIDP. So it's like, I guess it's like if I hit the lottery, but in reverse. Lucky me. Luckily, what I got is not hereditary, nor it's something that that I could give to somebody else. So thank God, like I can give that to my kid, to my seeds, nothing like that. It doesn't come from my great-great-grandfather or anything like that. I just happened to get it. We did several tests, even though we sent some blood works all the way to California, somewhere in California, and even they couldn't come up for the reason for me that I got it. I just had it like that, as happens, During that period, I spent early 2018. I spent a total of 9 months inside of the hospital. Like 9 months is a really long stay. Like I don't know too many patients that stayed that long in the hospital. And I stayed an additional 2 years inside, in and out of a rehabilitation center. And that was during the pandemic, no less. During my time being hospitalized, rehab, I encountered all types of work are possible. Like, I could name them all almost. Like PABs, nurse, doctors, neurologists, respiratory therapist, occupational therapist, speech therapist, all types of therapists. Everybody, I've encountered every type of specialist possible. At that time, I was very limited in what I could do. So I had no autonomy whatsoever, completely dependent on everybody. Also, I had no mobility because I couldn't move properly. And also that affected my speech because we think of the nerves. We don't think that we need our nerves, our muscles to talk, to articulate, and that was affected too. So I had trouble communicating with the people around me for a certain time. So having a general rapport between patient, myself, and all the workers at the hospital, the healthcare worker, was very important and essential for me to get through that very difficult period in my life. Before I explain my time at the hospital, I'm just gonna rewind back to pre-2019. Okay. Before then, I was like everybody here. I was normal. I didn't have an handicap. I was enjoying life. I was someone that was very active. I love to work out a lot, do marathons, do hiking, yoga, like anything that's sporty, active. I was doing all of that. And also, at that time, I was working for La Ville de Montréal. Well, I'm still working for them, but I was working as a blue-collar worker, where I was the one taking care of, emptying out the garbage or the recycling or driving a pickup truck or driving like those 10-wheelers. I was doing a lot of those dirty jobs, but I enjoyed it because it keeps me moving. And also, at that time, I was doing other side gigs. Like, I was also doing background acting for several movies and TV shows. Shows like Quantico or 19.2, or I've did a couple of commercials. I enjoyed it. Everything was great. But in early 2018, things were starting to take a turn for the worse. Early 2018, I was starting to feel weird. I was starting to have like tingling around my hands and the extremity of my legs. But I mean, that happened in winter, so I mean, you guys know how it is in winter here in Quebec, right? Our winters are brutal. So I said to myself, okay, you know what? It's the winter, it's too cold, I'm working a lot, doing all this overtime, I'm, doing too much, so I gotta, take it down a notch or two, not take so many overtimes, and I decided to take a break from working out. So time went on, but I was still feeling not well. Furthermore, I was starting to lose my reflexes. I was also starting to lose my balance a little. Not too much, but just enough that I'd rather hold the ramp when I go up the stairs just to be safe. Like, just to picture how bad it was about to become, okay? Okay, anybody here have dogs? Have a dog at home? Okay. So at home I got a pug, right? Like a cute little dog. Like I had all the trouble in the world just to pick up my dog and to put him on my bed when I go to sleep. Like a pug is small, it doesn't demand all that energy. Furthermore, at that time I was driving a Mazda 3, a manual Mazda 3 with the shift stick, like the real manual, not those Tiptronic BS there, like the real manual. And like I had trouble just to shift from the third to the fourth to the fifth speed. Like I don't know if anybody like drives stick shift, but that's dangerous, especially if you're driving on the highway, like in winter no less. It's not safe. So I went to go see my family doctor to see like what's going on with me. But we did several tests, but no bueno, no results, nothing. Everything came back negative. Did blood tests, urine test, ultrascan, all other tests that I can't even pronounce. Negative. Everything came back negative. I even did, the brain scan for MS, multiple sclerosis. I said to myself, okay, I must have that. But that came back negative, which, mind you, it's great. It's good not to have that, but I'm still feeling symptoms, so something must be up. So with time, I took some time out from work. I was home. I was getting tired. I was throwing up sometimes. I had like trouble just to like wash myself in the shower, like stuff like that. It was getting really weird. And eventually, in March 2019, I went to go see my family doctor once again. That was like the last time I see her for the foreseeable future. So she saw me like walking inside of her office, and I was walking like if I was a senior. I like trouble just walking and lifting up my legs because my whole body was in pain and I felt weak. And as soon as she saw me, she said, "Okay, you know what? Now we're gonna have to send you to internal medicine." So she gave me an immediate appointment for internal medicine at Cité de la Santé in Laval. And I still remember that day like it was yesterday. And March 29th, 2019, I went to go see the doctor. I did a couple of tests, and he did that test where, I always forget the name, but the one that you sit down and they did the hammer and they hit your knees to test the reflex there, that test. And well, first of all, he was banging the hammer and I didn't feel nothing, nada. And needless to say, my knees wasn't moving at all. Nothing was happening. So the doctor looked at me and he said, "Okay, this is not good. This is bad. We're gonna have to keep you for further examination." And at that time, I was dumbfounded. I was like, "Okay, like this is not cool. This is wrong. I don't know why I'm in this situation. You know, I didn't do anything. All of a sudden, I'm having all these issues." But even there, like I still kept hope, and I said to myself, "You know what? Okay, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna find a cure. Like, you know, like in 2-3 weeks, I'm gonna be out of the hospital. You know, easy peasy." Well, that 2-3 weeks that I envisioned myself in my head finally end up to turning into 9 months being inside of the hospital. Or like in my case, I felt like if I was in prison, because not just I was at the hospital, but slowly I was not able to move and I was paralyzed. So I'm in a prison inside of myself. And obviously you guys are, you know, like all, you guys have your life in front of you. But so just imagine, okay? Imagine for an instant, not able to use your legs whatsoever, okay? Like even just the legs, not even like the whole body, just the legs. Or imagine not able to use your arms. Like they're there, but they're not moving. You can just barely move your shoulders. You guys weren't able to function in life, you know? Let alone do like all the stuff that we take for granted. Well, me, I couldn't do anything. And at that time, like I was so depressed. That was by far the worst period of my life. The worst period. Like I had some ups and downs in my life, but that one takes the cake. I never thought that I've already gone to the hospital. I never thought to see myself in that position. But even there, like I was maybe like tricking myself and saying, "Okay, no, it's still gonna be fine. They're gonna find something. I'll be good." I remember some of that stuff. So I was there like with a cane and I'm walking in the passageway. I was stuck with someone at that time, I forgot who. And then while I was walking, like out of the blue, I lost my balance and I crashed on the wall and I fell down on the ground. Like just like that. You know, then I'm on the floor, I'm not even able to get myself up, and I'm like, obviously everybody came and picked me up, you know, code red, all that stuff. And they picked me up, and right away they're like, "Okay, you're too dangerous. We're gonna have to like put you in a wheelchair." And then that's when it set on me that this was gonna be my future, being in a wheelchair, having like a sign that written that, okay, danger, whatever, needs help and all that stuff. And then I was just like, like soaking it in, and then I just bawled. I cried. I cried. I think I never cried like that in my life. That was so hard. It was difficult. I mentioned that earlier that I spent 9 months in the hospital. What I forgot to mention is that I spent 9 months in several hospitals. So I started at Cité de la Santé in Laval. Then at that, I spent a couple of weeks at the Neuro downtown Montreal. Spent some time there. Then at that, I went back to Cité de la Santé in Laval. And then I spent the rest of my time at the Jewish Rehabilitation Hospital in Chambly-Laval. So I was going places to places on a wheelchair. I was pretty much nomadic. Initially, they thought that I had Guillain-Barré syndrome after when they did the lumbar, what do you call it, spinal tap? Yeah, lumbar puncture, yeah. I was going to say puncture Robert.
C'est ça?
Yeah. I got that test done, and like if you guys, obviously you guys never had that, and I don't wish that on anybody, but it's a test where they take that long needle and they pierce it in the bottom of your spine. It's not cool. It feels so invasive, but they had to do it to extract some fluid and to test it. At that time, they thought I had Guillain-Barré syndrome, so I said to myself, okay, from what they explained to me, it's bad, but I'll be able to recuperate, at a respectable time. I did other tests. I did the one called plasmapheresis, where it's like basically they drill a hole here between your clavicle and your throat, and they put a tube here, and they got like a transfer of plasma. Take out like the old plasma and put the new one in, kind of like a backwash or something, and that didn't work. I had injection of IVIG, intravenous immunoglobulin. That didn't work. Obviously, I was getting worse and worse. During that time, I was non-functional at all. I couldn't even eat my food. At that time, my weight, before I was a muscular, I was about 170 pounds. And I went all the way down to 115 pounds, soaking wet. Like I was mad skinny. It wasn't a good sight. Like, I got some pictures, but I don't want to scare you guys. I'm not gonna show that to anybody. At that time, like nothing worked, so they sent me at the neuro, because neuro is like the specialist. They would be able to find these rare conditions. They did more tests on me. They did CAT scan, the biopsy on my left ankle. I didn't felt it because I was on sleeping gas, but after that I felt it for like a month. It wasn't comfortable. And anyways, they tried everything, like still nothing worked, and like I was on a chair, and like I couldn't even like come out with a feeling or nothing. I looked old, I looked pale. So at that time they decided to go to a last resort, and I got something done on me that I didn't think I would ever think about that at my age. But back then I was 37. I got chemotherapy done on myself. The C word. I thought chemotherapy was, when I think chemotherapy, I think about, like cancer patients and stuff like that. But in my case, that was the last resort, because my immune system was keep attacking, and they couldn't do nothing to stop it. So they have to put my immune system all the way down to zero. Like if you're pulling a computer off a wall or whatever, they're doing a hard reset. And I reluctantly accept the procedure, because they still have to get my permission, even if I was mumbling and they can probably hear me. And so I got chemotherapy done. It doesn't feel good. It sucks. It really sucks. I don't know if you guys have any friends, family members that already went to chemotherapy here. Yeah. And if you guys see it like in person, like they're going through it. It's not comfortable, but it's kind of like that. Like, mind you, it's not like, I mean, I don't have a cancer, so it's not as bad, but it's not so uncomfortable. So eventually it started to work. I started to feel a little better. Slowly but surely, but really slowly but surely. And I started to get like some functions back, things that we take for granted when we're healthy. Like I was able to, for example, like to lift this object off the table, but mind you, I could just lift it with 2 fingers because the other fingers still wasn't working. I was able to go on my phone, on my iPhone, and I was able to scroll through some stuff. Like little stuff like that to me was like a victory. And I took advantage at that time and said to myself, okay, like I have a small window of opportunity. So now would be the time to really go hard and do all the rehabilitation that's available to me. Because I'm at the Jewish Rehabilitation Center. Like rehabilitation is what they're specialized in. So I did all the therapies possible. Physiotherapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, kinesiology. I did all of that. That was like my Avengers assembled to help me. But they all helped me in every single facet, and it helped me start to get more confidence. And I used my resilience to work hard and to work hard to feel better and to get myself out of the hospital ASAP. The most important person that we often take for granted that definitely helped me was a therapist, psychologist. Because again, remember, I was paralyzed. Like I can't do nothing. Like before I was fit, I could do anything with my body. I didn't care. Like I was feeling it. I was feeling myself, but now I'm not feeling myself literally. So I have to use the muscle that that we don't always think about, but it's very vital to us, which is our brain. And this applies even to anybody. It doesn't matter what you go through. Like sometimes you have to have a strong mindset to get through some stuff because you're gonna have challenges in your life. And I went through this type of challenge, and I know that I had to find a way to get through this, even if I'm not 100%. I'm still not 100%. I won't be 100%, but that's okay for me. I had to go through that to get out of that situation, and seeing the therapist, it definitely helped me. Opening myself to them, saying how I feel, then crying, then I have to saying what I feel again, then crying again. I'm crying. I can't even wipe myself, by the way, because again, my hands are not working, so they have to come and be like, oh, poor Mike, like it. I'm used to it, but man, in the beginning it hurts your ego, man. Like like a toddler, But anyways, with time, I started to feel better. I was able to stand up. I was able just to pull myself on the desk, which is a victory. I was shaking, I was wobbly, but I could still stand up. Then eventually, I had a walker. I was there walking with the walker, and I feel like if I'm on a ride, it feels so good. Then eventually, in December, I got discharged from the hospital. After 9 long months of rehabilitations, ups and downs, mostly downs, countless injections. I would guys, I would put a junkie to shame. So much injections that I got. So I got discharged, and that was a great victory for me. Mind you, I wasn't even 50% at that time when I was out, but still I was good enough that I could go home, they deemed. But that was great. Then a couple of months after, that was March 2020. You guys know what happened in March 2020? Yeah, I can see it in you guys' face. COVID, yay. Cue the sarcasm. I can't catch a break. Yo, like, I came out of the hospital. I was trying to do some rehab from home. I'm like, okay, like I got this. I'm feeling a little better. I started to get some confidence. Then everything shut down. So basically, like the rehab center, they couldn't. At that time, everybody was in the unknown, so they couldn't get. They weren't accept any new patients yet. So I'm there at home, not doing anything. Like, mind you, at least I'm at home. But then I'm like, okay, now what? Like, I can't see anybody. Can't do much. Okay, well, I guess I gotta watch Netflix. At that time, what they had shows like, what was it, Tiger King, The Last Dance. It was great, it was great TV. But after a while, I'm like, okay, well, like I'm not really working on myself. I'm not getting any better. So again, then I started to again feel depressed. I'm like, I can't be doing this. I was, doing like everybody's going through social media, but like all the stuff that they were posting at that time was very demoralizing. So I got off of everything. I even closed some accounts. I'm like, okay, F this. And then I got an opportunity that came my way. In rehab, mostly you see a lot of seniors, going to rehab, or people like, that have an accident at work or, inside of a vehicle or whatnot. But because of COVID, in the beginning, everybody was scared. I mean, a lot of us were scared, but they were even more scared. So they decided not to go to their appointments. So that left the door open for me. So they have like a lot of free space during the week for all the workers, and I decided to tell them, okay, you know what, can I come in? Like, I don't, like, obviously, like, I'm scared of catching the COVID, but like I had to go all in. Like for anybody that plays poker, Texas Hold'em, like you got a bad hand, but it's like, you know what, okay, I got I don't know, like a 8 and a jack, okay, screw it, put all the chips in, all in. Like, I have to do this now, or if no, I'm not gonna get this opportunity. So instead of going to my appointments like once, maybe twice a week, I went for an astronomical, like 4 times a week, 2 different rehabs a day. In the beginning it was hard because I was still weak. My body couldn't take it, but my mindset was like, okay, no, you gotta go, push. So it was rough in the beginning, then I adjusted a little bit, but then it worked out because I was able to start to do some things that at that time I didn't thought I was able to do. I was starting to walk a little bit more rapidly. I was able to climb up a ladder. Mind you, everything I'm doing is like in a slow pace, but it doesn't matter. Like I'm still doing it, so that's what counts. I was able to properly hold a fork and a spoon and eat on my own instead of, I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but instead of looking like back and forth that nobody's looking at me and just go eat instead of the plate because I don't want to depend on anybody because again, ego, all of these little things. Having all of that, it permitted me to eventually gain more autonomy. I was able to take my own showers. I was able to go to the bathroom without having somebody waiting for me. That's super embarrassing. Eventually, I was able to do a lot of stuff. I was able to walk around the block because, everything is close. So, I go out for a lot of walks. That felt really good going out and, just walking and just feeling the sun. It feels so invigorating. Invigorating. It feels so good. Eventually, I was able to get my license back because they suspended my license. And as soon as I was paralyzed, like, they're gonna take off your license. I lost my class 2, no, sorry, my class 3 and my class 3 because class 5 and class 3. Because I was driving a truck, so they took everything off. They gave me my license back, class 5, and later on I got my class 3 back. Also, I was able to do background acting again because I got my double shot, and a lot of people didn't want to take it, but they needed people because, like the show goes on, they still have to, make TV series to entertain all of us. Eventually get tired of reruns. So I decided to try my luck and apply on some openings. So they took me even if it was flagrant that I had something wrong with me whenever I was walking. I was walking like a limp or like if I was injured, which I was. They didn't say a word. They just let me do my thing. Then it boosted my confidence. Confidence was very important for me. Like I need confidence. I lost everything, so I felt insecure. Even now to this, every once in a while I still feel that way, but it just doesn't last as long. And I was doing like background for this, for that, and doing a lot of gigs, and then after that, I was like immersed in it, and eventually I was able to return back to my main job, which was La Ville de Montréal, working for the city. It shows that hard work really pays off, and obviously I hope nobody is going to be in any type of situation like that, but you never know what can happen in life, because I never thought that would happen to me. Like I don't smoke, I don't drink. Like I'll even say like I'm not a model, but like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, you don't do nothing or whatever, and it happened to me, right? So it's important to be very conscious of that. So again, I spend a lot of time at the hospital. I had time to interact with a whole bunch of people, all types of workers. For the most part, the staff that was over there, everybody was great with me. That helped me a lot, because if they didn't care about me or didn't treat me well, it would have been much harder for me to get out and be who I am right now in front of you guys. A couple of things that was really good about the workers is that they had a lot of empathy for me, and they have a lot of compassion, and they accommodate me a lot. For example, I mentioned about me talking and not able to talk properly. Well, I didn't realize it at that time. Okay, like when we talk, like we just hear ourselves. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm talking eloquently. They can hear, but whenever they hear me talking, I'm talking like that's not what I was talking. Like my mouth couldn't move, nothing couldn't move. So I was mumbling. I sound like a mumble rapper sometimes. Like when somebody told me that, like I didn't know which guy at that time, but they told me I sound like some artist. So they kept their smile, and they repeat whatever they think that I was saying, and I like nod my head, because that was at least working, thank God, there, and to say like yes or no. So and then they're like, okay, no problem, Michael. Here I'm gonna bring you this. I'm gonna bring you your juice with your straw. I always need a straw. With mashed food, because I couldn't digest either. Anything that's pretty much like Gerber food. Basically, I was eating that. Okay, so baby food, let's say. So yeah, they didn't treat me like a human, basically, and that really felt good, because I was going through it. And they would come by, either it's the morning shift, the afternoon shift, the evening shift. They would say, hey, what's up? Hi, how you doing? Chit chat a little bit. I'm there, like, smiling and be, trying to say a joke that probably didn't even understand in hindsight. But, they were like laughing and stuff like that. And, they actually kind of worked, because just so anytime when you're in the hospital, it always has to be like very cool with the staff, because, you get some favors because of that. It's always hard for them, so just food for thought. But yeah, they were really cool with me. They have a lot of empathy, so I really appreciated that. Also, I had a lot of friends and family that came to visit me. All of them, they couldn't believe what I was doing in the hospital. They were, when they saw me all skinny, they were shocked. Like some people I still haven't talked to them or seen them to this day, because they still had that image of me on the wheelchair, and they just couldn't muster up the strength to come and see me. But it is what it is. But the ones that were able to come and see me acted like nothing happened. Even though they know that something is up, they were coming around, and like, let's say this is my bed, they were like around the bed, and everybody was like, conversating and chilling, like if we were like, in my basement or something. So that camaraderie, it felt good. What was cool is also the workers that was in the hospital, they saw that, and they So obviously, like in the room, sometimes you can have a bunch of people. Maybe sometimes they accept like 2 maximum or 3, but they give me some leeway because they see how I was feeling and they know that I needed it. So sometimes they were tolerant and they let people stay around me, and we try to keep the noise down, not to disrupt anything. So that was very thoughtful for them. And honestly, like in most rooms, there is several patients. It could be like up to 4 patients, and sadly, a lot of patients, they don't have no friends, they don't have no family. They're there and all by themselves. Nobody doesn't come by and see them, and it sucks. Like I feel for them. It's terrible. So when my friends would come to see me, like oftentimes we would just be there. Everybody's conversing about everything and anything. Like we didn't care. I mean that they go by, so they felt good too. And also when they were going through it, and they were like more guarded and mad and whatever. Like it kind of made them a little bit more happy. So like everybody was more optimist overall and felt better. So I really appreciated the staff for permitting us to do that. And also, and any basketball fans here? You? Okay, do you remember spring 2019?
Depends.
Well, that was when the Raptors won the championship. So, obviously I'm in the hospital and I can't use my iPhone, so I can't watch the game. I don't know what's going on. But the staff let my friends like bring me to the lounge room, so I was able to go downstairs and watch the game on the TV. And like I was looking at like if I was watching the game for the first time, I'm like, wow, this is great, this is amazing. And at that time, the Raptors was like on this monstrous run with Kawhi Leonard and Siakam and Van Vliet and Lowry and all of those players. And it was nice to see because I didn't know what was going outside. I had no idea whatsoever was going on in the world. Like the only thing like I think I knew because somebody told me was that was the year where they had the floods everywhere. Like there was after the end of spring there where they had there was an accumulation of water like a little bit everywhere, like in West Island and some places in Quebec, anyways, stuff like that. So like watching the game was comforting. It was good to take my mind off of what was going on with me, the messed up situation that I am. And again, the staff had empathy and they permitted me to go and my friend and leave and to go watch the game. So that was very thoughtful of their part. I also had like some less favorable experience also. I remember that one time when I was in the bathroom with one of the workers. It was a PAB, and again, like I can't move, so they have to carry me, put me on the toilet. I have to stay there and wait because I can't do nothing. And I don't know what happened that day, but she wasn't in a good mood. She was, like talking to herself, being like real pissy. But then somebody else come to go and help her out too, and she wasn't in a good mood either. So those two were like bickering, and I'm there in the toilet, like down in the dumps. They're right there, it's like a little small bathroom. They're right there, they're arguing. I'm there and I'm hearing all of this. I'm not feeling good. I'm tired. I can't do nothing. I can't move, so I can't just, like anybody here would do is just like get up and be, deuce, get out. Can't do none of that. I had to stay there and endure it. And, they just finished with me, like put me in my bed and then they leave. And like I felt, can I swear here?
Yeah.
I felt like shit. Like I felt like such a piece of, anyways. I felt bad. I felt like if I was a prop, and I hated that. I hated that so much. It rarely happens, mind you. Like it's only maybe 1 or 2 incidents that was like that, and it was from people from the agency, I think. But it's very important when you guys gonna eventually work with patients to put in consideration and put yourself in their place, because a lot of the people like myself really went through it, and a lot of people when something's up, they would normally like just leave the room and go out and talk about it like in their break or in the hallway or whatever. But have to listen to that. It's not pleasant because I have to go to bed after that. I can't do nothing obviously because I can't get up, so I'm there stuck in bed. I'm there lying on the side because I can't move back, and it's going running through my head. And plus, what it's the situation I'm going through, so I wasn't able to sleep, and like I had to, not because of that, but that contributed. I had to take some sleeping pills, which is something that I didn't normally take, but I didn't have a choice. So it's very important to take that in consideration because look, like put yourself in the other side, right? Okay, let's say if your parents, okay, they're in the hospital, something's not up with them, you'll obviously hope that they're gonna get the best care possible, within reasoning, of course. Like, I get it there, and I know how the field is, I know, the issues and everything like that, but, everything besides that, you hope that they get the best service possible. Well, if your mom or your dad, is on the bed not feeling well, and, they got people bickering beside them, and they're going through something, and, their mind is not there, and they don't feel good, they're gonna go and tell you later on, hey, this person is, not making me feel well or stuff like that. You guys gonna get mad. Obviously, you guys gonna go see the responsible and do a complaint. So it's always good to see it both ways. We don't like nobody to do that to you or to your parents. I definitely don't want nobody to do that to my family. That's for sure. So it's important.
There's another class going to come in here. Sorry.
What time is that actually?
Yeah, it's 10-2. So we have another class coming in, so we're going to have to wrap it up like kind of fast.
Okay, no problem.
Sorry.
See, I should look at the time. Sometimes I can blabber and
it's 10 to 10.
Okay.
So,
okay, well, actually, I'm pretty much that. Like, I could just finish by saying, like, look, when you guys going to be working with the patients, is just think, that you have to have more empathy. Don't take anything personal. Everybody's going through it. And it's going to make your job more easier. And it's going to, if you're lucky, you're going to have like a patient like me that after I was out of the hospital, I went to go every year to go see the people that helped me out. And I show my gratitude, and I tell them, thank you very much. You guys helped me to be in the position that I am right now, where I'm in front of you guys. And that's going to be worth it for you guys. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a couple of quick questions because I know we don't have time, but was there anything like prior, like you mentioned that you lost like tingling and all this, but is it a virus? Do they have any idea how this? Nothing.
Nada, they have no idea. They did like every test possible. They don't know. It's one of those things that
like stress, because stress can impact the body a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think that could have partially?
I think that could be a factor, but I mean, we're in North America. I mean, like we're just, like everybody, you know what I'm saying?
If you're working all these double shifts and you're, pushing your body, I don't know. Like I'm just trying to figure out why, because it's rare.
Yeah, me too. I thought maybe it was that, but they said, okay, they don't think it would be that, but it could be a possibility, but they can't put their finger on it, Also, like, it's important for me to mention also, like, I'm in front of you guys right now, like I feel maybe when you see me, when I have no idea that I'm disabled, but obviously I still am. And just to show you what I use on a daily basis, I always wear splints. These are carbon splints. These are expensive splints, so thank you the government. We have free medical care, so it comes in handy. It helps me at least be able to walk. Because if I don't have any splints, I can't walk whatsoever. I drop foot. Also, I have other pairs of splints. I got this baby. It's very rare. This thing costs really expensive. I forgot the price, but it's over $3K. And thank you. And these little things like help me go through day to day. So even though I know that I'm never going to be what I am before, well, these things help me to feel normal like everybody else and be able to do things like everybody and not to limit myself and say to myself, okay, well, I can't do anything in life. I don't believe in that anymore. I make all the moment count, and it's overused there, YOLO, but I YOLO all day, every day. Just the fact that I'm in front of you guys right now, I'm YOLOing. So, I don't know if you guys, I know it's, you guys gotta go, but you guys any questions? Yes.
How did you feel when you finally like got your diagnosis? Like when was the diagnosis?
Well, when I got, because I had two diagnoses. When I got the first one, I was like, wait, what is this? Like, I never heard of this. I don't know what it is. I was shocked. But then I said to myself, okay, well, it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. But then when I got the real diagnosis, I'm like, oh, I think I'm gonna die. Like, and minus, by the way, like, there's a small, slim chance of dying, but there's still a chance. And the nerves, again, it affects all your body. So it also affects my lung too. So we're there, we're breathing, we don't think about it, but it takes a lot of strength to breathe. And in my case, because I was weak, I was reached to a limit that if I couldn't, I forgot the metric, but if I couldn't breathe higher than a certain metric, then they're gonna have to put me through
They put you on this and make you breathe in and.
yeah, and I didn't want to do nothing about that, nothing at all.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to have a certain level, because otherwise you would be relying on, you didn't have CPAP or BiPAP or anything?
No.
Okay, no oxygen either?
No.
Okay, good.
I'm not about that life. I don't do one of that. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate that.